Good morning. This is the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. My name's Dave Burney.
I'm Brent Apperson. Good morning.
7:31, 24 degrees outside. The sun coming up behind the trees to the east this morning. Beautiful morning. Beautiful day in store for us. Good day to move some cattle around, maybe.
There you go. Yeah. Going to be and has been so far a beautiful week.
I ran into Drew's dad yesterday. Are you there, Drew?
I'm here.
Broken Bow, Burwell Livestock, Drew Gaffney. And, you know, your dad seemed very happy yesterday, Drew. He kind of mentioned that he believes that you're listening to about 98% of what he's telling you now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I am listening to 98% of what he's telling me, and 97% of it goes clear out the other ear.
Oh, how you been, Drew?
Good. Yourself?
Oh, we're doing well. Big week of wonderful weather for lots of different things. The calves got to be liking this.
Oh, yeah, and there's going to be guys stomping around with their straw hats on and their sunglasses.
Yeah.
I think so. Also good for getting cattle to the sale. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so last week we had a couple big days, and then again this week have two big days. Kind of give you a recap, had a special weigh-up market there last week in Bow, and those high-yielding cows were $1.08 to $1.16.5. Those middle frame type cows was $1.03 to $1.775. Thin cows was $1 to $1.02. Heiferettes was $1.10 to $1.87.5, and bulls were $1.06 to $1.80. Did have a few baby calves, better baby calves, bringing around that 6.10 to 6.5, and those couple-day-old calves, little smaller calves, were right around that $350 mark. Got back on Friday, had a bred cow and heifer sale over in Burwell. Not a big run of those, but a decent run. Had some nice cows on there. Solid mouth cows are bringing $22.50 to $22.75. Short solid cows was $2,010 to $1,800. Broken mouth cows is $1,575 to $1,800. And that's kind of how we got along there. This week, got another big special weigh-up sale in Broken Bow. This week, probably expecting those weigh-ups to be another couple bucks higher this week. So if you got them in, I encourage you to get them in and get them sold. And then back on Friday, got a really nice feeder calf sale. 3,500 head of those calves on Friday. Really outstanding lineup from top to bottom there on Friday. And if anybody's looking for good replacement heifers, I mean, you're not going to find them any better than what's going to be on that sale on Friday. I encourage you to go to the website and check that out. And you can look at the listings, look at video ahead of time. Any of you guys kind of still needing some cows, got a really nice dispersion coming to Broken Bow on the 29th. We got from Stapleton coming there from the Kramer Ranch, and an outstanding set of cows, and always been good calf producers. Got any questions, give me a call, 308-872-1105, or give Justin French a call, 308-872-1421. While I got a minute, I just want to give a big shout-out to you, Brent, and the crew. You guys did another outstanding job of calling the state wrestling. Really exciting to be able to listen to those matches on the radio, and I tell you what, that state tournament didn't disappoint again this year.
No, it did not. It was a great tournament, and I appreciate the kind words, Drew. We love going there to cover the tournament, and it was another great tournament with a lot of excitement.
Well, and it's like I tell people, I mean, even if you're not a wrestling fan, that's one of those bucket list deals that you got to go down and check out the state tournament. That was just pretty exciting to watch in person. It's even better to listen to you guys on the radio.
Well, thank you, Drew. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Drew. 7:35. Appreciate that. You're listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show on a wonderful, terrific Tuesday. Dwight Yoakam takes a lot to rock you. It is 7:39, and school lunch menus are next. I don't have mine rounded up yet. Do you have yours rounded up?
I do, yes. I can get us started. We will start you off today at SEM Public School, or at Sumner Eddyville Miller. They're featuring Mexican tater tot casserole on the menu today at SEM.
All right. Thank you very much. At Ansley today, it's turkey, fruit, vegetables, and milk.
Sargent today, homemade pizza, corn, fruit cup, berry crisp, and milk at Sargent.
And today at Arnold, it's tacos, fruit, vegetables, and milk.
Sand Hills Public School in Dunning, ham and cheese pockets, tater tots, peas, and carrots at Sand Hills.
Broken Bow Middle School, High School. Today, they're featuring beef taco in a bag, crispy chicken sandwich, uncrustable cheese and cracker platter, fresh-baked Italian turkey subs.
At Loop City Public School today, Italian dunkers or pig in a blanket. The choices at Loop City.
At Thedford, bacon cheeseburger, tater tots, cauliflower, veggie fruit bar, and milk.
Litchfield today, chicken patty on the menu at Litchfield.
Arcadia, tater tot casserole.
All right, Gothenburg today, some of their choices include beef taco in a bag, crispy chicken sandwich, fresh-baked combo sub, and made-fresh sausage pizza on the menu today at Gothenburg.
Anselmo Myrna, also beef taco in a bag, crispy chicken sandwich, and fresh-baked ham and cheese sub at Anselmo Myrna.
Cozad today, some of their choices, a new item, it says, Caesar Pizza Mac. Also a honey bacon glazed tender sandwich and turkey and cheese sandwich, the choices at Cozad today.
The Prairie Pioneer Center today, featuring turkey stuffing, casserole, green beans, and fruit. Call them at 872-6121. Let them know you'd like to have a meal. You can also set up home delivery at that same number.
And one more school menu to pass your way. Excuse me, this is Callaway Spaghetti on the menu at Callaway Public School.
Okay, thank you very much. If you're celebrating a birthday today, that was yesterday's, I better get that. Today, a few birthdays that might be of interest to you on this 20th day of February already. It is the 20th day of February.
It is.
Wow. Rihanna is 36 today, took the world by storm with her 2007 hit Umbrella. And she has also launched a cosmetic line if you want to check out her makeup. Miles Teller is 37 today, best known for his role opposite Tom Cruise in Top Gun Maverick. I know you like that show.
Yeah, it was great. He played Rooster.
That's right, Rooster.
Yeah.
Charles Barkley.
Oh, yeah.
Is 61 years old today, NBA star and now star analyst, and considered to be one of the greatest NBA power forwards of all time. He's a two-time inductee into the Basketball Hall of Fame, and he's, of course, been on the Olympic team, and now he makes all kinds of money and has all kinds of fun doing commercials and commentary and analysis.
Yes.
Cindy Crawford.
Oh.
You remember Cindy?
Yeah. I want to take a guess on this one.
Okay.
Man, how old is Cindy Crawford? I'm going to guess 55. Am I anywhere close?
Close, but a little low.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's 58 today.
58.
Supermodel with famous moles. She has the beauty marks.
Yes.
She also runs a very successful beauty line and furniture line that's doing quite well. And also one more birthday, Justin Verlander.
Major League pitcher,
Yeah, 41 today. All-star pitcher, led the Astros to the World Series title. Was that when they cheated?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't think cheating matters much anymore.
They were sorry, though.
They were sorry that they did that and had gizmos wrapped around their tummies. Well, with that thought in mind, it's National Handcuff Day.
Oh.
Now, this is interesting to the point that I thought handcuffs would be around longer than what they say. Here, on this day in 1912, the patent was filed for the adjustable ratcheting handcuff. Before, I suppose they just had the leg irons and the wrist irons that they bolted or, put a pin in or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and were probably heavier than the newer handcuff in 1912.
Do they use handcuff? Of course, I love watching the cop shows on TV. They're kind of starting to go to the zip tie thing now when they catch a bad guy.
I think they use the zip ties a lot. Well, yeah, you see it used almost any time, but I was thinking they might use the zip ties more when like they raid a place and they don't know how many people's going to be in there, and they're going to have to, do it fast.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would think they would still carry some handcuffs with them. But yeah, the zip tie is. I
can't believe we have a day set aside to celebrate the handcuff.
Sure. Along with National Love Your Pet Day, which makes a lot more sense. If your best friend happens to be, a dog or a lizard or a goldfish, give them a little extra love today.
Yeah. What are you going to do for your cats?
Well, I'm sure that it would be hard to top what my wife does for them every day. So
your wife is Love Your Pet every day.
I don't.
Yes.
I don't know.
Joan does a great job taking care of the pets.
Yeah, she's an animal lover, and so they have the, they got it pretty good. But yeah, just a little extra treat maybe today wouldn't hurt. We would really be lost without our pets, I think. Whether it be
100% agree.
Dogs or cats or whatever they are, birds, doesn't matter. Just a little company, and dogs love you no matter what, and cats love you when they need something. That's the way it works.
There you go.
Hey, I hope the pancake feed went well yesterday for the VFW. It's nice to talk with Dell and everybody bustling around yesterday morning, and we hope that went well. And they put some money in the scholarship fund, so thanks so much for that, guys. Appreciate that. And, of course, yesterday we talked with Deb McCaslin about teammates. They're looking for mentors now that they've expanded into the elementary, and I run into Deb at the economic development meeting yesterday, and she said, well, we're going to come back. Mr. Toby couldn't make it yesterday, so they'll be back Monday to visit with us. And in the meantime, they're also having a very important meeting Thursday of this week on some money and grant money and so forth she mentioned. So we'll get an update on that next week. Also, casino night. Jeremy was talking about how he'd like to go over to casino night at Sargent and put some money in the funds there for their swimming pool.
There you go.
You can go in there for $50. $50. You get a bowl of chili, or probably more than one bowl, and some chips, and 2 tickets for drinks. And there's blackjack and poker tables available, dealer's choice tables along with pitch, which is always fun to play, dice rolling, and bingo. And there's a 50-50 raffle drawing that will also be held. You don't have to be present to win that one. And all the proceeds go to support the Sargent Swimming Pool Fund. So that is on Saturday, February 24th. The doors at the community building in Sargent will open at 7 p.m. Have some fun and raise some money for a good cause. And then also we've been reminding you on Sunday at the Veterans Building here in Broken Bow from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m. There'll be a fundraiser for Donna Hilkemeyer. Donna lost Tom to cancer recently. Tom's fight with cancer was very, very long and extended, and Donna's been working 2 or 3 jobs to keep up, and she still has some medical bills and other costs that she incurred. And we can help her out by dropping by and having a meal. It's a free will donation, and also have silent auction items there. And that runs from 11 until 2 at the Veterans Building this Sunday. And if you have any auction items you would like to donate or just make a donation, you can get a hold of Julie Tilleen at 402-677-9323. And they also have an account set up at Custer Federal Bank, where Don has worked for many years, that you can drop money by for if you can't make the lunch or the dinner on Sunday. This is all put on through the Lions Club and the Knights of Columbus. And we're also helping promote that as well. So that's Sunday. Those are some things that are coming up that we're aware of. And there's probably some other things as well that you know about. One of the things we know about is that there are spaces available in Callaway at the Grand Generation Manor. Now, have you ever been in one of those, Brent?
I don't think I have, no. I don't think I've been inside. I've been to the building, but I don't know if I've been inside the building and toured.
They're nice little one-bedroom apartments, and my Uncle Lon stayed there.
Oh, yeah.
And so we go over once in a while and visit with Lon when he lived there. And he was right on the corner, and there's an outside entrance to each one of the apartments, so you can sit out on the porch if you like. And they're very affordable. They're based on your income, and it's for folks who are 62 years of age or older, or handicapped and or disabled, regardless of age. And even if I heard you talking about this yesterday, even if you don't think you qualify, might be on the bubble there, give them a call and see if they can work something out with you. They want to have those apartments used and filled. All the utilities are paid except for the phone, and they have appliances furnished, including garbage disposal, as I mentioned, an outdoor entrance. Everything's right there for you. Physical therapy right across the street, doctor and hospital just 3 blocks away. There's also a local nursing home in town, as you know, and if you have a loved one who needs to live there, and you can then stay at the apartments, that would work out nicely. There's a grocery store within 1.5 blocks, drugstore, bank, hardware store, restaurants. Get a hold of Cassie Anderson at 308-836-4466, 308-836-4466. Logan is here. Logan, you want to help us play the game?
Sure, I absolutely can.
Arrow Seed is where Logan just came from. He probably had been there since 5 this morning.
Something like that.
All right, we're moving into a new batch of questions. As many of you know, it's Black History Month, and African Americans are an integral part of United States history. So we're going to ask some questions regarding that. Here's your question for today. Who was the first male black actor to win the Oscar?
The Oscar?
Yep, the Academy Award for Best Actor. Who was the first male black actor to win the Oscar for Best Actor at the Academy Awards? Your choices are Denzel Washington, Bill Cosby, Sidney Poitier. I always struggle with his last name. Sidney Poitier, I think, is how you say it. And Harry Belafonte. Those are your choices. Let me try those again and pronounce them better. Denzel Washington, Bill Cosby, Sidney Poitier, or Harry Belafonte. Those are your choices. Who of those 4 was the first male black actor to win the Oscar for Best Actor? If you know, call us at 872-2801.
It is Tumbleweed Day, so give us a call.
The Get Up and Go Breakfast Show.
My day starts right.
With Dave and Brent.
Imagine this: a cozy cafe with the warmth of home and the aroma of delicious home-style cooking. That's what you'll find at the Tumbleweed Cafe in Broken Bow. Start your day right with express options in the drive-thru, like sandwiches, burritos, and cinnamon rolls from 6 a.m. to 11 a.m. At lunch from 11 to 2, it's all about burgers, chicken strips, or sandwiches and fries. Make sure you always know what the take and bake casserole is each week, too. Drive-thru or dine in, the Tumbleweed Cafe, where their local service makes every visit feel like coming home.
All right, we have a caller on the line. I'm going to ask this very nice lady to repeat her name again for us.
Don.
Don, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. All right, here's your question. You get to hear Brent read through the list again. That's worth quite a bit.
That's been kind of fun today. Okay, Don, here you go. Who was the first male black actor to win the Oscar for Best Actor at the Academy Awards? Your choices: Denzel Washington, Bill Cosby, Sidney Poitier, or Harry Belafonte. Who do you think it was?
Sydney?
Yes.
Sidney Poitier. There you go. And I'm trying to think of the film. Was it Guess Who's Coming to Dinner that he won that for?
I think
or was it In the Heat of the Night?
I think maybe Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, but we could both be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, Sidney Poitier, now I'm on a roll.
Yeah.
Pronouncing it, is the correct answer. So, Don, we're going to put your name on a certificate here that's going to get you a free take-and-bake small casserole from the Tumbleweed Cafe. So swing on in, and we'll have your certificate for you.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Don. All right.
My phone's going off.
Oh, is it my wife?
It could be. I have a feeling we're going to get the answer to what movie he won the Academy Award for.
Oh, you look.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. This was from Mick Patch.
Oh.
He's just saying, thanks for letting me, thanks for inviting me for wrestling coverage. Good luck with all the basketball trips.
Well, thanks, Mick.
So thank you, Mick.
Yeah. So we must be right on the movie.
Yeah, I think it was one of those two.
We'll go with it.
We'll go with it. That's right. Yeah. Logan Girardin, Arrow Seed, Broken Bow, Nebraska. I was going to ask how your seminar, your gathering went.
They went good.
Good.
They went good. I've been gone for a couple of days. I went up to Minnesota ice fishing.
You went all the way to Minnesota to ice fish. Was there ice?
There was about 19 inches of ice.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it was. So before I left, I told my wife I wanted to get up, there's a fishing trip.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get up there and fish as quickly as I can. So I changed the tires on my pickup, put some 45s and some 78s on it. I got pulled over in South Dakota. I was making record time.
Oh, man. Mark that one down as one of the worst, Brent.
Wow. Katrina wasn't available today?
No.
I'm sorry.
No. I know. I know it. Well, she tagged me in for this morning.
There you go.
Well, that's all right. It's good to see you.
It is very good to see you.
You got a few fish up through the ice, did you?
I did.
Good.
It was a fun trip.
What was the biggest one?
One of my buddies caught about a 6-ish pound bass.
Oh, really?
And then
bass.
A handful of pike and a bunch of perch, some crappie, a few bluegill. It was just fun.
Oh, it sounds fun. Sounds fun. I don't know if you could ice fish here anymore, so it's a good thing you went north.
I know. Can't ice fish here, but, we can still grill.
We can.
There you go.
I mean,
That's a very good point. And why not get an early start with a new grill on the patio?
Absolutely. This winter that we had, what winter we had was kind of brutal. A lot of things, a lot of grills probably just need replaced. They just got tired.
Well, I can tell you from experience, if you don't cover them and put them away, they don't do real well in the spring. There's some wiring in a lot of those.
Yep.
Yeah.
The thing that'll make them work, pretty consistent is if you keep using them.
Yeah, that's true. Dry them out, heat them up.
Yep. That really helps. But if, say, you come and get a master-built grill from us, we also have covers, and they're like really heavy-duty covers, so you can leave your grill outside and not have to worry.
Yeah, that's so important to keep them dry. So
yeah, and I'm not very good about after I'm done. I'll take the cover off and I'll grill, and then I forget that I took the cover off, and then I'll let the dog out the next morning and be like, oh yeah, I should probably cover that back up.
Well, you have to let it cool for a while, so sometimes you forget, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I understand.
Exactly. And you got these mouth-watering burgers or steaks, or you take those off the grill and you're like, I cannot wait to eat this.
You got a pork chop, it's just right. You got to get it in there.
Nope.
That all sounds really good, and there's no reason like this week. Come on.
Exactly.
We can be grilling this week
easily. So, full disclosure, Mr. Jim Sr. got one of the master-built grills. He did down at their place in Arizona.
And is he using it?
He loves it.
Oh, good.
So, testimonial for you.
So what size did he get? Did he
got
get the big dog?
No, he got the 560, the smaller, smaller size, just him and Grandma. So, or him and Marilyn.
Marilyn, yes. And they still big enough they can have some friends over down there and.
Well, exactly. The 560, even though it's the quote-unquote smallest size that Masterbuilt offers, there's still plenty of room for a lot of food, a lot of meat. Or maybe you want to do some jerky, some summer sausage. You know, you don't have to just use it as a grill. It can double as a smoker too.
And going along with that, I think Katrina mentioned it last time, you're set up really well yet for, we got, with this weather, we think it's spring. I don't know how long this is going to last.
It's the false sense of hope, because I feel like March might be a lion.
Yeah, we hope not, but you might be right. The point is now would be the time to put together some of that jerky and some of those things you're talking about. Use some of your processing things that you have on the shelf that people can buy and make their own goods.
Yep, absolutely. You know, and the cool thing with what we offer, it's not just for wild game.
Right.
At all.
Right.
I mean, heck, I got a few bags full of pike fillets. I could probably make some pike jerky.
You could.
I don't know if it'd be very good, but maybe I'll try that, and you guys can be my taste
jerky.
You guys can be my taste testers.
Huh.
You know, being a pike lover that I am, that's my favorite. I would really recommend you just roll that in some egg and roll it in some a coating, whatever your favorite coating is, and a little light garlic salt and fry them.
Yeah.
I really don't know whether pike jerky. I don't know. I guess I wouldn't know until I tried it, right?
Exactly. And I bet I could make it taste good.
Well, I'm sure you
with
can.
my grill.
Yeah.
With my Masterbuilt.
And it doesn't take a bunch of work because this temperature is not a big problem. And
exactly.
Yeah.
I might have to do that.
You think you're going to do it?
We'll see.
Okay. All right.
It's either going to be really good or really bad. I don't think there's going to be an in-between.
You have the bones out already?
Oh, yeah. They're filleted and ready to go.
Okay.
Yep. So maybe I'll try that.
Okay.
And if that doesn't work, I'll just wait until my garden's really producing and just have some really good, I like to grill fish just in general. Mm-hmm. But all it takes is a little bit of garlic butter and some lemon pepper seasoning. That's all it takes.
That sounds real good.
Yep.
And you can do that with chicken. You can do that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But if you get the garden really going, maybe you got some asparagus. Asparagus is good with it. Maybe a little tomato, a little chopped tomato salad, or what do they call it? A caprese salad.
I guess.
Yeah.
Sounds like a delicious salad.
Yeah.
So you've got us all hungry, and you got us in the mood for grilling. Do you have some on the floor that people can come and look at?
We do.
Okay.
We do. So we've got one of the 560s set up.
Okay.
But the basics of them are all the same between the different models. It's just the 560 is the smallest cooking area, and then you got the 800, which if I was to do it all over again, I'd probably get the 800 because it comes with the griddle. So it could be like a Blackstone.
Yeah.
But smash burgers, sausage, bacon, eggs in the morning. I mean,
yeah,
that's just
sounds so good. And a nice thing too, there's nothing wrong with the smell of bacon and eggs. It's very, very good, but it does stay in the kitchen for a while.
Exactly.
So maybe like on a Sunday morning, you go ahead and whip up some bacon and eggs, and it's great. But when you walk from the outside into the kitchen, it hangs around a while. If you do it outside, no problem.
Exactly.
Plus, you get to cook it outside.
On a grill. You got to start grilling at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I do that anyway, but
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah. Come on in and take a look. We've got got a lot of other stuff too. I know Katrina's getting geared up for gardening season.
Yep. She's been talking about it.
So, and it's time almost. It's almost time. It's only mid-February, but it's almost time.
Well, like she said, you can start with some seeds if you like, and grow your own from the beginning and from the scratch, and put them in later.
Exactly. Okay. So I do have to ask, how's your cover crop doing?
I wish you wouldn't ask me on the air. I didn't get it in. Now the question is, can I put it in this spring?
So what you can do this spring is you can plant some oats in it.
Oh, really?
Yep.
That would be fun.
So plant some oats here, towards the end of March.
Okay.
And you can just let them go, or you can mow it, just shred it or mow it, and that leaves really good residue, really good mulch. And those oats will start, they'll start regrowing to an extent, but you'll have living roots in your garden all season.
I'm glad you saved me there, because I didn't get to it, and I was wondering about if I could do something this spring, because it really did help last summer to have that cover crop in there.
It's night and day different.
Yeah,
it really is. So,
well, the oats sound kind of fun.
They are. Yeah. So oats are really cool because when they're not very tall and you walk through them, they kind of squeak, or they make a funny noise, and it's like what's that, ASMR or whatever videos that you see, that it's just you just hear the noise. Nobody talks, nobody does anything. Yeah, it's kind of like that when you walk through it, just kind of calming. Oh,
I could always use that.
So
I could bring Brent over and let him walk around in my garden and kind of soothe him a little bit, maybe mellow him out.
After some of the stuff that Dave's pulled on you, that might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, he'd probably then send me a bill.
Well, that is
for coming over to
that is true.
Walk around and calm myself.
Well, for mental therapy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so come on in. We've got lots of stuff, and it's it's the cream of the crop. It's the bread of the season. We're just starting out, but we've been around the block a time or two.
Yeah,
so
quite a few times.
Just a few.
All right, Logan, thanks a lot. Arrow Seed open 5.5 days a week right here in downtown Broken Bow.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Good luck on your next trip, and maybe
good luck on your next show.
Yeah, I was going to say. News is next.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. Almost all of California is under the threat of dangerous weather after a night of heavy rain and flooding. Santa Barbara Fire Chief Chris Males.
We're counting in the 6 to 7 inches of rain up in the foothills at this point. So all that water has to come downstream.
Another plea to release the body of a Russian opposition leader.
16 февраля погиб мой сын, Алексей Навальный.
Alexei Navalny's mother in a video begging Vladimir Putin to return her son's remains for a proper burial. Still no cause of death reported. X suspended his widow Yulia's social media account this morning without citing any rules she may have violated. It has just restored it. Capital One is hoping to acquire Discover for $35 billion. CBS's Jolene Kent on the proposed deal.
Capital One, of course, stands to benefit a lot from this deal, given that Americans right now are using credit cards more than ever before.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
In Nebraska news, Nebraska student teachers could receive 100% tuition waivers beginning in 2025 through a legislative proposal under consideration this session. Legislative Bill 953, proposed by State Senator Kathleen Cloth of Omaha, would support students at the University of Nebraska and the Nebraska State College system seeking a degree related to teaching during the semester or semesters that they are student teaching. Cloth told an education committee at a February 13th hearing on the bill, encouraging and supporting prospective teachers will help us rebuild our teacher population. The program is proposed to run for 6 school years through 2030-31 and is estimated to cost about $15 million in lost tuition revenue. This will be offset by an annual appropriations of up to $3 million, which Christine Hasbrook, a lobbyist for NU, said would ensure the cost not passed on to other students or programs. That's Nebraska News.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
In NASCAR, William Byron won the rain-delayed Daytona 500. The final lap was completed under a caution. It's his first Daytona 500 victory. His previous best finish was 21st. It's the 9th Daytona 500 win for Hendricks Motorsports. They are tied with Petty Enterprises for the most Daytona 500 wins in NASCAR history. NBA news, Brooklyn Nets fire head coach Jacques Vaughn after 2+ seasons with the team. Nets were 21-33 this season, 11th place in the Eastern Conference. Assistant Kevin Ollie has been named interim head coach. Top 25 college basketball, 2 ranked teams were in action. They played each other. Number 2, Houston beat number 6, Iowa State, 73-65. Cougars are now 23-3 and in line for a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. NHL games of note, the Wild outscored the Canucks 10-7. 3 players had hat tricks in the game. For Minnesota, Joel Eriksson and Kirill Kaprizov 3 goals. JT Miller had 3 for Vancouver. The 10 goals scored for the Wild is a new franchise record. Battle of division leaders, Bruins beat the Stars 4-3 in a shootout.
Here's your weatherology forecast. Clear skies today with daytime highs approaching 66. Westerly winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Lows dip down to about 32. Tonight, mainly clear skies. A blend of clouds and sun. Tomorrow, highs around 63. Sunny skies and dry Thursday and Friday, mid-50s. Thursday, upper 50s by Friday. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Is pain keeping you from doing what you love? If your neck, shoulders, back, or knees are preventing you from feeling your best, it's time to take action. Whether you've had it for years or it's due to a recent injury, you don't have to live with the pain. Pearson Physical Therapy of Broken Bow offers personalized treatments and flexible appointments that work around your busy schedule. Call Pearson Physical Therapy at 872-5800 or visit us on the web at pearsonpt.com. The treatment you need, the care you deserve.
No matter where your schedule takes you, stay up to date on your bank accounts. Sign up for mobile banking or online banking with Bruning Bank to keep track of your accounts anywhere, anytime. At home, the gym, grocery store, day or night. Deposit checks, transfer between accounts, view transactions, and check balances. Set up bill pay so you never forget to pay that bill ever again. Ready to simplify your life? Download the app or visit bruningbank.com. Bruning Bank, member FDIC.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
There's something magical about unboxing. When you unbox BritBox, you uncover a world of British entertainment. Stream the UK's most brilliant series, including new and upcoming seasons of Shetland, Father Brown, and Death in Paradise. Plus new originals like Payback, Irving Welsh's Crime, and Archie, the story of Hollywood's greatest leading man, Cary Grant. Unbox BritBox and escape to the best of British TV. Stream with a free trial at BritBox.com.
10 minutes past, let's make that 11 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. And at this time, I would like to introduce our next guest, Mr. Doctor. Have you ever heard that one before? Dr. Jacobson. Nope, that's not the end of the show. I want to do this. We brought our studio audience in today for you, Doc. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a quick question for you. Sure. I think all morning since you walked in the door, we've said, "Hi, Doc." Are you okay with being called Doc?
Yep.
Okay.
You got to remember, I was a banker for 10 years, so I've been called a lot of things. So Doc's got on the good side of him.
Right. I don't know if Dave and I have ever called you by your first name. We just say Doc.
Well,
hey, Doc.
I'm a little different. I think having been in banking for 10 years, I don't get too hung up on the title. I mean, I like the respect of doctor, but I have a lot of patients who call me John or call me Dr. Jake just because it gives us it puts our relationship on a different level.
Yeah.
So,
well, you have a personal relationship with your clients and patients, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I got to ask you, you're looking great. I know that you have been losing some weight, but I think you've lost a little bit more weight from when you were here last time.
Probably. Yeah, I'm down about 45 pounds.
45 pounds.
And one of the things that is the tough part is it has to be due to lifestyle changes. There's no magic pill or no magic bullet that you can take and then we're going to lose weight. We have a lot of people that want Ozempic. That's the diabetes shot that's used for weight loss. And I'll tell people, that's fine, but one, if you don't have diabetes, your insurance isn't going to cover it. 2, it's $1,000 a month. So,
oh my gosh,
if you want to do that, we'll write the script and let you go. There are some people that are doing compounded form that has a semaglutide, which is the active ingredient. It's not Ozempic. My biggest concern or fear with Ozempic is we just don't know those long-term side effects yet.
So my next question.
We're seeing more and more in the medical literature about more side effects. Are they going to be long-term? Are they more transient? There's also been recent studies showing that people who've gone off of the Wegovy's, the Ozempics, they've gained their weight right back. And the problem is because the shot itself suppresses your appetite.
Okay.
Well, when you stop taking the shot, now you go back to eating the way you ate before. And so you gain the weight you lost plus some. So that's why I say it's got to be the lifestyle change along with it. Now, if you can do the shot plus make lifestyle changes, then when you stop the shot, hopefully you can keep it off. Studies show that people who go on a diet, quote unquote diet, 75% gain their weight back in less than a year. 98% gain all that weight back in 2 years. And the problem, a lot of people will go on these fad diets where it's kind of a starvation diet. They'll actually burn muscle mass for energy because they're so short of the energy supply. So then when they do go back to eating the way they were, they gain what they lost plus another 10 or 20 pounds because they burnt the factory. Muscles are what burn calories. So, it's got to be a lifestyle change of what we stress is really getting your carbs from plant-based sources, limiting alcohol, soda, those kind of things, but also trying to get in 30 minutes of moderate exercise 5 days a week. So you don't have to be a marathon runner, but you got to get up and move. And one thing I stress is you can't do the same thing every day. People say, well, I walk my dog for an hour every day. Well, if you're doing it at the same pace, your brain will set your metabolism to that pace, and you won't lose any weight from that, or you won't see any loss of inches. So it's really an interesting phenomenon. The brain is a great organ. It can work for us, but in weight loss, it works against us because it thinks back to caveman days where you killed something and you gorged yourself for 4 days until it rotted, and then you might not eat for a week. So, it's what it thinks. It gets that fat on board. It wants to hold on to it.
Yeah. And is it fair to say, Doc, that, for some people, it's just harder to maintain weight and to take off weight. Some of those same people that are able to take off weight real quickly to a certain point, and as you say, they can, if they don't do things just right, it comes back really quick. In metabolism, the way the people are built, there's just, it doesn't seem fair, but there's just some people out there that put on weight faster than other people.
There are some genetic components. Yeah. We know that, and I think the next 10 to 15 years, we're going to see genetic therapy where they're going to actually start trying to inject different genes into people. I hate to say that, but I think that's coming. It's probably already being done. We just don't know about it.
Probably.
So there definitely is a genetic component. There's a component of how we metabolize foods differently. Some people can eat and never gain a pound. Other people, I used to say I walked by a cake and I gained 2 pounds. But on the flip side, I also ate too much cake. Yeah, So it really comes down to what we're putting in our mouth. There's different ways to adjust your metabolism. But the problem we have in America is that we're a fast food society. I tell people I leave our clinic in Kearney. The first place I see is Sonic, and then I go north on 2nd Avenue, and I go by Culver's, and I go by Panera, and then I turn east on 56, and there's Applebee's, Arby's, McDonald's, Burger King, and Taco John's, and at 5:30 to 6:30, all those drive-thrus are full. And they're full of vans or Tahoes or suburban-like vehicles, so they're families.
Yeah.
And so we wonder why our kids in 5th, 6th, 7th grade are starting to develop diabetes because we're a fat society, because it's easy, it's quick. Mom and dad are both working, so it's a lot easier to do that than it is to go home and make a fresh baked, cooked meal.
Wow. I'm going to bring this up, and I think I'm okay on this, but when you're younger than I am, but we're somewhere near the same age, and you think back when you were in school, and you mentioned being a kid in school. Sometimes when we were in school, the kid that was heavy, the fat kid, was getting ribbed by the others because there was one or two kids that were heavy in our class. And now here we are in 2024, and I would imagine
they're the majority.
They are the majority. It's scary, isn't it?
It's sad, and that's where as adults, young family, as parents, we need to get a whole different mindset of how we're doing things. We're, again, everything is so easy, so we're eating highly processed foods. we see an increased incident of cancer in young people. Well, why is that? I think partly it has to do probably with pollution, but I think a lot of it has to do with eating processed foods. I tell people, if you look at the label and you don't know what half the words are, you probably shouldn't eat it. Or if you look at the label and they say, well, it's good for a year and a half, you probably shouldn't eat it. Mm-hmm. The old adage, if it rots, it's probably okay to eat. We've gotten away from eating our fruits and vegetables. If you look at the old food pyramid, the bottom was grains, dairy, all the worst things you could be eating. Well, now they've changed it to where the bottom is your fruits and vegetables, and the grains and the dairy are more at the top because they're where the higher calorie stuff. Not to say that you don't need to eat that, but it just needs to be more in moderation compared to what we typically eat.
Mm-hmm. I can ask you a question about your loss of weight because you're here to talk about it. Do you eat three small meals a day? Do you eat one meal a day? How do you regulate?
No, I typically, my wife and I will eat 3 meals a day and then usually have a snack mid-morning and a snack mid-afternoon, whether, it might be 20 raw almonds or 20 walnuts, unsalted things, or an apple or an orange or some blueberries, or we're trying to be more conscious of what we're putting in our mouth. So we typically will start out, the company that we have supplements, they do have powders so you can make drinks. We typically will start our morning just with a shake, and then mid-morning have a snack. Lunchtime, we typically will eat greens of some sort, whether it's vegetables, broccoli, whether it's a salad, and then we'll add chicken or tuna to it. And then dinner, we try to sit down and eat a home-cooked meal where we're cognizant of serving size. A serving size for a typical person, protein should be the size of your palm, at 3/4 of an inch to an inch thick. So I always tell guys, it's the size of your palm, but it's not 3-inch filet, that you cook on a grill from Logan.
Yeah.
That's smoked and medium rare in the center that you can cut with a fork. So it's just being conscious of that. A lot of times, people say, well, I eat salads. Well, what do you put on your salad? A lot of times it's high-calorie dressings or things that are kind of taking away from the benefit of the greens. But variety is the spice of life, and it comes to that when we're eating as well. I mean, that's one thing my wife and I have kind of struggled with, is trying different recipes, different seasonings, those kind of things. We've gone with a lot with Mrs. Dash because they're all salt-free. So and they've got some great flavors. I mean, you can get spicy, you can get kind of a Indian flavor or Chinese, kind of a soy paste flavor, those kind of things. So, but again, it's coming back, and we really have to sit down and plan our week out. So usually on Sundays, we're kind of thinking about what we're going to eat during the week. Otherwise, if you don't, you reach for that fast fix. So that's where I always tell our customers it's got to be a lifestyle change. One of our supplements, we call them skinny drops. They're all natural, they're holistic, they're all herbal, essentially. And you take a drop in the morning on an empty stomach, 10 minutes later you take a second. Well, the first drop suppresses your appetite. And I can tell you, I take one of those drops, I don't care if I eat all day. But I do them at lunch again, and I do them at dinner time or supper. And then the second drop kind of helps boost your metabolism. And I tell people, I lost 40 pounds in 13 weeks. Could I have lost that without the drops? Absolutely. But I think I would have probably been in that 15 to 20 pound range. So I think the drops doubled my weight loss. So, well, what I tell our customers or people that talk to me about our drops is, if you're not willing to make the lifestyle change, don't spend the money.
Don't do it.
Because they're expensive. I mean, it's $147 a month. But all you're going to do is you're going to take them, they're not going to work, and then you're going to be mad at me. So I'd rather you just save your money up front and make the changes that you can make, because you have to make a conscious decision to change the way you eat, the way you drink, what you exercise, those kind of things.
And folks out there listening, and this has kind of perked their interest, they can set up a time to come and visit with you about their particular situation and talk about those lifestyle changes and the supplements that you offer. That, if I understand, you're correctly, are natural.
Yep.
Which is comforting, I think.
Yes. One of the, ever since we started Click Family Healthcare in November 2017, people have come to me and said, why don't you do supplements? And I've always said I have 3 problems with supplements. One is where they manufactured, because supplements aren't regulated by the FDA, they're regulated by the USDA, which means there's really no regulation.
Yeah.
Until you see enough people have a bad outcome that they sue them.
Yeah.
Then you'll see an investigation. 2 is, are you getting a quality product? Meaning, from dose to dose, are you getting the same amount? I've read medical journals where it's all over the place. Today it's 200%, tomorrow it's 20%, then it's 60%, then it's 80%. All over. And then 3rd, do they work? So I was introduced to the supplements that we use by a doctor in Rapid City, South Dakota, Dr. Ray Strand, who's now like 78. But his story was he was about 20 years into his family practice when his wife got sick. And he said, I did everything I could for her. She was getting worse. I took her to 4 specialists. They put her on 9 medications, and she ended up getting pneumonia. And a family friend came over and said, well, my husband had pneumonia. He took these supplements, and he got better. So she took them. He said 3 days she was better. 3 weeks she was off the 9 meds. 3 months she was the best she'd been in 10 years. So he delved into what was in those supplements and then helped develop the line that we're using. So I trust him a lot because he has 25, 30 years I've seen them work.
Mm-hmm.
As far as, are you getting quality product, they send their product out about 6 times a year to independent labs. And I didn't know this until I started researching, but a name brand prescription drug has to be within 3% from pill to pill to pill. So this is 100, 103, 97 to 103. Generic drugs have to be within 20%.
Mm-hmm.
These are 10 to 15%.
Okay.
So we're getting a quality product. And then they're manufactured in an FDA monitored facility. So I felt confident that we were gonna have a good product. And the first thing is, I told them, I'm not going to do anything until we try them on ourselves. So I bought some for my wife, for me, for my 2 nurses, and we've all lost 20. I mean, like I said, I've lost 45 pounds, and none of my nurses were overly heavy, but they've all lost 15 to 25 pounds.
And this might sound a little weird, but there are some folks out there that have lost weight rapidly, quickly, and honestly, I thought they looked better when they were 20 pounds heavier.
Well,
so there's got to be a conscious effort not to get too carried away, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, the first thing I always ask people is, why do you eat the way you eat? Because a lot of times, people have food addiction just like they have alcohol, drugs, those kind of things. So, I can tell you, I'm a stress eater, and a lot of people, we eat because of something else. So some people will become addicted to exercise.
Yes.
Or become addicted to limiting their food because that's a way they can control things. So those are the people you see that are anorexic or bulimic. So yeah, you can go to that extreme one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell people that you can tell people who really have made a lifestyle change and are really into it because a lot of times they look worse. Like you said, they almost look like they're cachectic. It's like, man, they look old.
Yeah.
Or a little bit of fluff, you look younger.
Yeah.
So definitely. And I tell people you need to pick a number, and people say, well, I want to lose 50 pounds. And I'll say, no, you want to lose 10.
Yeah.
Because 50 pounds is a long ways in the future. And if you lose 5 or 10 and then you gain a pound or 2, it's like, well, screw it. I'm going to go back to what I was doing. So like anything, whether you're playing sports or whether you're in business, you have to hit attainable goals. And then once you hit that goal, then you can change your goal.
You can say, I want to lose 5 more or 10 more if it works.
Yep.
Well, I guess the main thing here is that you're offering this natural supplement, plus some guidance. You're a doctor, and I think a lot of times people need to, if they're going to get really serious about losing a bunch of weight, have a doctor online to help them, right?
Yeah, we, for our customers, we're doing baseline labs. I ask them to commit to 3 months, and then at the end of 3 months, we'll check labs again. We have some people that just want to come in that aren't our customers that want to buy the drops, and so We offer them to become a member of our clinic, but if they decide they don't want to, then we still offer them support with via text messaging and those kind of things. But we don't offer them the blood work unless they want to pay extra for it and those kind of things. So it's another tool in our toolbox. We've had so many people that just have this bad taste for big pharma in their mouth. They see things on the radio or see things on TV or in the newspaper about, big pharma and whatever, their profits or addiction, and people are they're afraid of it. Or they'll see an article that comes out that, well, I take a medicine to lower my cholesterol and it gives me diabetes. Well, a lot of times you have to take those with a grain of salt because media will pick up on stuff and exploit it when it's really not.
Yeah, pick one part of it. Yeah, pick one part of it out.
So we just I look at this as just another tool in our toolbox. I tell people, if you have diabetes, you have hypertension, you have cholesterol, supplements are supplemental. You still may need to be on a prescription medicine, but changing your lifestyle, we can get to the point where maybe we can lower those doses so you're on the lowest effective dose. Because I don't want people taking prescription drugs they don't have to. I mean, everything has a side effect. I mean, people can't tolerate Tylenol. We think Tylenol, we buy it over the counter, it's no big deal. So those are the big things that kind of led us into getting into the supplement market. But the big thing is, there's just no magic pill. There's no easy quick fix. You didn't put the weight on overnight, you're not going to take it off overnight.
And
your cholesterol didn't go up overnight, it's not going to come down overnight. So all of those kind of things that we really try to focus on and give support. And I haven't done it yet. What we've talked about, maybe doing some groups where we have a nutritionist come in or even an addiction specialist to come in and talk to our customers that want to come in about addiction and why we eat the way we eat, and other kind of coping mechanisms rather than looking at food.
All right. A lot of information there, but I think a lot of opportunity for folks to come and ask you some questions. Before we let you go, we're going to run out of time here. We want to talk about just generally what you're treating right now.
Lots of influenza, just a lot of viral stuff. We've seen quite a few positive influenzas that, people say, well, I get the flu. Well, the flu is different than influenza. Influenza, you feel like you got run over by the truck, then they backed up to make sure they hit you, and then they run over you again. Typically, you're going to run 103 plus fever, headache, body aches, just horrible. We've seen quite a few of those. In fact, I had a guy come in last Wednesday, and on Friday I came down with influenza, even though I was vaccinated. But for me, it lasted about 26 hours, where this guy, it took 5-6 days to get over it. So vaccinations, people have a really bad taste in their mouth from the COVID, but influenza vaccinations, although they're not 100% efficacious, if you do get influenza, it's a tempered, so it's not going to be as extreme, what we call attenuated. So a lot of viral stuff. And, with our customers, they'll call and say, well, do I need to be seen? And we kind of go through the symptoms, and we have what we call our UR handout that lists different treatments. And, if you get better, then you feel worse, give us a call, we'll get you an antibiotic. We don't even need to see you. But if there's a question, whether they have strep, or we bring them in, we check them, we do rapid influenza tests, those kind of things. But a lot of viral stuff. Broken Bow, I was told 2 weeks ago, had 120 kids out of their grade school.
Heard some other schools. Other schools a little short on students as well.
And it's that way in Kearney, it's that way in Amherst, it's that way in Axtell. I mean, because we have customers from all those towns, and it just goes through. Everybody thinks that, well, I get a flu shot, I need to get it in October, or I need to get it in September. The peak of influenza is actually February, March. So if you want to get a flu shot now, go ahead and get one. It takes 8 to 10 days for it to be, get to the antibodies build up. But still, it's going to protect you now until through the end of flu season. So in my mind, it's a pretty cheap investment.
And you can still get it, but it might shorten the period of time you have it, right?
Right. Yep.
Okay.
A lot of just common sense things. Get good sleep. Make sure you're staying hydrated. a lot of times we don't feel well, so we don't drink, and then our headache gets worse. I always tell people when I cover small town ERs, somebody comes with a headache, first thing I do is have the nurse pop an IV in, give them 25 of Benadryl, and 95% of the time when they wake up, their headache's gone just because they're dehydrated.
Yeah.
So same when we're sick. It just makes you feel better if you can get hydrated.
Okay. All right. How many days a week are you here in Broken Bow now?
4 half days. Okay. So Monday afternoon, Tuesday morning, Thursday afternoon, Friday morning.
All right.
So
set up an appointment, folks. And
yeah, give us a call. Wendy is very well versed on the supplements, but she's also very well versed on our model. And then Carney, Janet, my wife's there, Robin, our nurse there. Everybody's up to date on what we're doing. And my nurses really they're probably my two biggest cheerleaders when it comes to supplements, of how much better they feel, they're sleeping better, those kind of things. So again, just another tool in our toolbox that if people want to talk about, we'll be more than happy to talk about. But our base practice is still providing family medicine.
Yep. And your model's a little different than others, so ask some questions about that. I know the nurses can answer those questions if they can't talk to you.
Yeah, I always tell people, go on our website, clickfamilyhealth.com, because it'll answer a lot of questions, but it also might trigger some more questions. So go there first, give us a call, stop in the clinic. We're always happy to talk about what we do, because I'm one of the few doctors that actually loves his job.
You can tell that, too. Thank you, sir.
Yep, appreciate
it. We'll take a time out. Got more guests coming in. Stay tuned.
Calling all cattlemen. We're Austrian Angus, and it's bull sale time. We invite you to our 23rd annual production sale Wednesday, February 21st at 1 p.m. at our ranch south of Ansley.
Selling will be 145 performance-tested, carcass-evaluated yearling Angus bulls.
Also selling are 30 fancy registered yearling Angus heifers.
For more information and videos of this powerful offering, check us out at austrianangus.com.
Can't wait to see you at our ranch, Austrian Angus Ranch. Let's have a bull sale.
It's time to spread the local love with the KCNI KBBN Love Local promotion. When you shop local, you're not just a customer. You're a champion of community support. Tune in every weekday morning to The Breakfast Show for your chance at a $25 gift card to a fantastic local business. Join us in embracing the spirit of local love. Keep it local. Keep it here. Listen to The Breakfast Show to win.
Now remember that whatever happens, I love you.
Varney Health Mart in Broken Bow welcomes you through their doors to shop their nice selection of children's books. Perfect for gift-giving occasions or for no occasion at all. Activity books, storybooks, learning books, and the newest editions from local author Yvette Mannon. Titles include Cookie, Where Are You? And Cookie Meets Johnny the White-Tailed Deer. Shop for that little reader you know, or kickstart a young one's love for reading at Varney Health Mart, downtown Broken Bow. Shop their selection of children's books today. We get asked the question a lot, do you do any work at the radio station?
It's a place of childhood innocence and fun.
We do get work done. It shouldn't be a crime to have a great time while doing your job, though.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
We are accepting applications for candidates to join our sales executive team. No experience is necessary, but if you like helping people and would appreciate using a no-pressure sales approach alongside a staff that's like family, you're on your way. When you join the team, you're given an established client list made up of established relationships. No searching for new business out of the gate.
Nice and easy.
Gas prices are crazy. No worry for you. You'll have a station car to drive the St. Hills roads.
Hey, Rod, who's driving? It's okay. It's on cruise control. Cruise control just regulates speed. It doesn't steer.
Decide what your day looks like. Meet new people. Throw candy in parades. Get paid to have fun. Send your resume to jeremy@sandhillsexpress.com. I'll talk to you soon.
You're listening to The Breakfast Show on KCNI KBBN Radio.
8:37, as we promised, our guests continue to roll in, and we will have Mark Stock in a little bit later on in the show here before 9 o'clock or so. So stay tuned. We got Chris Smith with us with Palmer Monument right now. Chris, how you doing?
Hey, we're doing pretty good.
Good to see you, although I did see you yesterday at a meeting.
Right, you did, yeah. What did we discussed something at that meeting? I said, did you need me to bring anything to you today?
You did. You asked.
Yeah. What did you tell me to bring?
Cocktails.
Yeah. Okay. So I got some. apple crown.
Oh, man.
Or you got like a orange cream smoothie.
Whoa.
Or you can have this butter pecan little thing. So there's some cocktails for you. You can work those in on those long days, and they're good. They're little sippers.
Oh, boy, that's nice of you to do that. I really didn't expect that.
Oh, but you asked for it. I didn't want to let you down. I'm afraid you'd kick me off the air or something.
No, I just was trying to be a wise guy, but thanks.
Yeah. So, Brent can just slip that. I put this is a butter pecan. You can put that right there in your coffee.
Oh, yeah?
So it's just like a creamer that goes in there.
Yeah.
Dave probably won't even notice.
Ah.
So, probably make you a little more conversational while you're on the air.
If you have any stress, that should reduce that.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Yeah.
It is kind of a stressful week.
Yeah.
For us here, a lot going on.
I can't believe it would be more stressful this week than last week at the wrestling tournament, though.
No, it's not. No, it's not nearly as stressful as those 3 days at state wrestling are. They're a lot of fun, but they're long, and there is a little bit of stress in those 3 days when you want to make sure you don't miss a kid.
Right.
Popping up on the mat, So,
Plus, it's hard to choose. Like, am I going to have a Runza while I'm there? Am I going to have Valentino's Pizza?
Well, yeah,
while I'm
there are certainly those questions.
Dippin' Dots. Where are the Dippin' Dots? And they're at the opposite side of your announcer booth. So you got to run there and get back.
Man, this round's going longer.
Yeah.
Are we going to be able to get to the salty dog to eat or not? What's going on?
Well, I've seen some pictures of them dining, and it looked like they had made some nice choices.
Yeah.
When you're announcing state wrestling, making weight takes on a completely different tone as compared to the wrestlers who are wrestling.
I give Christy a bad time because she's always so stressed when she comes through. She's trying to line up all your sponsors for state wrestling and that kind of stuff, and she's always like, Brent thinks he needs to eat while he's down there. I mean, she's getting good at overcoming objections. So she has this, and I'm like, well, when a few years ago when it went up to $10 or whatever it went up, and I was like, man, that went up from last year. She's like, well, Brent wants to stay in a nice hotel now. He says Super 8 isn't good enough anymore. So I do have a camper. If I can drop my rates back down that $10, I'll pull that right up, put it in the parking lot.
Don't approach Christy with that idea. She's already thinking that I should take a pop-up camper with me somewhere.
I'm all for that.
So and Dave, of course, is right on board with that idea.
All right.
Reduce costs.
Yeah.
Well, next year we need to see some picture of you in your terry cloth robe in the hot tub and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's there in the room.
As a matter of fact, you probably didn't hear his story yesterday. In his room, the heater didn't work. It quit.
Yeah.
And he ended up sleeping with his hoodie on. He may as well have been in a pop-up camper, I think.
Pretty much. May have been warmer.
Well, I tell you what, you can add $10 onto me next year and get you a different hotel.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you, Chris.
Well, we was talking earlier this morning. You know the drill. The room is X amount on Wednesday and Thursday, and then on Friday it's
they go up, don't they?
Oh, they double basically.
It's ridiculous.
I wonder how they justify that. You couldn't do that in your business. As a matter of fact, when it comes time for people to really consider some of the things you're talking about, you actually have a discount for them.
Yeah, we have coupons off.
Yeah.
So maybe I need to rethink this. The closer we get to Memorial Day, I start raising the rates on stuff and do that. But no, we're pretty fortunate. So we work with some great manufacturers and suppliers, and so a couple times a year they allow us to have some rebates and get some things back. And so this time of year is our winter sale, and so we have some coupons out there for folks that if they purchase at certain levels they can save certain amounts. And this year they did go up, so that's nice. It had probably been 15 years since they'd given us an increase. So now you can save an additional $300 off a purchase of $3,000 or more, $200 off a purchase of $2,000 or more, or $125 off a purchase of $1,250 or more. So that's been great, and we use that. We kind of game the system just a little bit because I like to do that. So if you come in and you see something that we do have in stock and that I'm not having to order, what we do is we just go ahead and take that and we order a replacement piece for it. And so then we use that rebate on whatever we order for a replacement. So we want to make sure that everybody gets something and not just because somebody's ordering something different or wasn't in stock that they can save on. And so we kind of Yeah, we kind of work the system just a little bit, and I think the suppliers probably know that we're doing that too, and they're happy that we have a good relationship in our area and good customers, and that we can do that for Central Nebraska and Kansas, Colorado, etc.
Yeah, and that's the opposite of what we're talking about with the motels and hotels. When an event is in town, they actually jack it up about twice as much. You're trying to find a way on the other side to save your customers money, and that's what you've been doing for a long time, certain times of the year.
Yeah. The other thing we do is we try to buy in bulk. So when we're ordering something, we're not just ordering like one of them or two of them. We try to order 10 or 12, things like that. And because we do cover a large enough area and we do have a large enough volume, we can do that. And so that also then allows us to save just a little bit more. It'd probably be another 5% higher at least if we weren't able to do that. So we just pass those savings on. This year we had one of our major suppliers come in. We actually had them come into town. Through COVID, some of the rates went up, and I wasn't always so sure why exactly they went up. I mean, I know there was increased expenses with employees and shipping and freight and things like that, and some international freight surcharges, but some of those had gone away, but the prices really didn't adjust out that much. And so we brought them in and we sat down and talked to them, and we weren't the only ones, but they really listened to their customers, and so they actually rolled back some pricing on some of the import colors and things like that. So that's prevented it. So we don't have to raise prices this year, which is another great thing, because we were really anticipating that we would probably have about an 8% price increase for 2024, and because they were willing to work, and they care about people too. I mean, they understand our industry, and that we're trying to run on as thin of margins as what we can. And so they rolled those back and decided that they would reduce prices for us. And so that's a great thing, and I think a real testament to the suppliers in our industries, because I mean, what other industry have you heard that from? They put a surcharge in there for COVID or whatever. Well, then that problem goes away, but they never brought those prices back down. That surcharge becomes the new price, and they keep moving on there. And the funeral industry, the monument industry, death care industry is really, really conscious of people, and that this is it was kind of a need and not just a want, and so they try really hard to keep the cost down on things for people.
That's a good way to put it. It is a want, because you want a stone that represents the person that you lost, but it's also a need. You really need to do this. So that's a good way to put it. Question: how many? I know you have all this outreach that you're talking about. Kind of throw out the locations for us, and how much inventory do you have at those locations?
Right. So he asked me, and that number is always changing a little bit in our head. Right now, at all of our locations combined, we have right around $3.5 million in inventory. Our locations, we have locations, physical retail stores in Fremont, Plainview, Grand Island, Broken Bow, Kearney, North Platte, Ogallala, Scotts Bluff, Garden City, Kansas, Sterling, Colorado. And then we have several funeral homes that also work with us, maybe in a remote area like Chadron. Okay, we don't have a store up there, and it doesn't make sense to open a store there for the 30 units we might sell a year there. So we have the funeral home that has some displays there and does that. So we work with actually 130 funeral homes, but we have displays probably at another 15 of them throughout Colorado and Nebraska, Kansas, to just so people can see things when they're there, and they don't always have to travel to a retail location. They can get an idea of sizes and colors and that kind of stuff. So we've got that. I was hoping to have an announcement for you today, so here on the radio, so I'll have to come back, but we are in negotiations, and I think we agreed to purchase a few more locations. So here by the time I come in here in June, we'll have another couple of locations that we have physical buildings for. So we're just continuing to look for opportunities to grow and to provide service. And my industry is in a unique basis, because a lot of people like my dad's age had started monument companies, and they retired. And traditionally, those are ones that were passed down to the families. So, the next line just came in, and that's what you did. And this is really probably the first generation where that next generation isn't always going into it. Some things have gone into play. One, if you're in a declining rural population, so there's just not as many sales there, but also cremation. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people cremate, and then they don't know what they're supposed to do with those ashes. And so you go to any funeral home, and they'll tell you, yeah, I've got a dozen or 20 people back here that the families won't pick up because they don't know what to do with them. So as we're working, our company is working to try to educate people that go ahead. We have cremation memorials. There's scatter gardens, what they call them, in a lot of areas where you can just go scatter the ashes, and maybe there's a wall that you can just put the name and a date on. Some people bury them at their family farms, and then they put out a bird bath or a bench or something a little more unique out there to do that. Those are things that we haven't done a good job in my industry educating that those things are available, and that's what people do. And if you go to other countries that are really great about that, you'll go to parks, and they're full of trees and, like I said, bird baths, benches, sculptures, things like that were all done and somebody's ashes are there. And so here in the United States, we're just a little bit behind. But that's kind of a detriment on some of our locations. And, so now maybe my folks are looking at things and they're saying, hey, or my kids, yeah, Dad, you used to sell 500 stones a year, and now you're only selling, 300. What's it going to be like by the time I get ready to retire? So those generations aren't going in. So it takes somebody like us that says, okay, it's still important to be in those locations, those communities. We can still provide service because we're right next to you. So that's our opportunity, and we'll continue to grow as long as I'm here, I guess. And
remain fluid because things continue to change. Now, back to the cremation, I know a lot of folks feel more comfortable if they can take those ashes and put them next to a stone of a family member in the cemetery. That's pretty common, I think.
Yeah, and so cemeteries, depends on your regulations there. A lot of cemeteries will allow you to at least put two internments in a grave space, so whether that's a full burial or cremation. So usually you can do something like that, and we can get creative, put something at the foot or add something to an existing piece that's complementary, so that way somebody still has their own memorial, but maybe on that location.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of options there.
Yeah.
That makes your job interesting, I'm sure.
Yep, so it sure does. So we come up with some pretty creative things, but at the same time, we get to get some creative things, which lets us do some pretty neat things, from real small things to more elaborate things that we can do.
Yeah, and of course you, with the little bit of experience I've had working with you, you're good about, I guess, just making people feel comfortable. And it really helps if you do all this ahead of time, ahead of a passing of a loved one. And I think that's really the way to go if you can swing that. And by the way, financially, you can make that work a little easier too.
Yeah, and that's our preference, because you know what your budget is. You don't have added expenses of, did you have medical bills because somebody had a long illness, or, you had the funeral and you think you've kept track in your head, it cost me X amount of dollars, and then you didn't realize, I forgot that I also got the pamphlets, or I bought a little better casket that sealed up better, and so I forgot that I spent that money. I had this in my head, and so then all of a sudden you're like, I don't want to get myself in financial trouble. So doing it ahead of time, you come in, you can do that. What would be comfortable for your budget. Time is on your side usually. So if you want something a little better, like, okay, I want to match grandma and grandpa's, but obviously what we bought in 1970 is probably a little bit more, or quite a bit more expensive today, but that's what I always wanted, so I want to do that. So now we can work a little bit and say, okay, well, hey, let's pay this over 2 years, so that way you can match and do that rather than just have it all at once up front.
Chris, you mentioned Memorial Day. It's not really very far away.
It's not.
And I imagine that there's a lot of work to do between now and then, depending on the weather. It's been good for you to get out there and probably do some of that work. If people want to take advantage of some of these pricings you have and different things you got going on to help them, now would be the time to do it.
Now is the perfect time. And really the last couple of years with COVID and deliveries and things and suppliers not being able to give you good estimates, we just kind of put Memorial Day delivery guarantees out the window. And this year we are bringing them back.
Oh, okay.
So if you come in between now and April 1st, 99% chance we're going to be able to get whatever you want installed in the cemetery for you for Memorial Day. After that, it'll be kind of a hit and miss if possible. Maybe if we have the granite in stock but don't have to order, we can still hit a few, but it's going to get a little harder after that April 1st mark. Last winter, November and December were still pretty warm, so we did a lot of setting, got things cleared out of our underneath. Really, January has only been the real miserable month that we couldn't do stuff. And since it got warm, like you said, it got warm. Well, lots of activities. We're selling a lot of things. So now we're trying to come up with creative ways for those folks that want something for Memorial Day, but we've sold this, but we have this available, or I can order it, but it'll be here in August or something like that. So we're working through those things. But yes, this is putting the pressure back on ourselves again after 3 years. Still having pressure on ourselves, but not trying to guarantee those deadlines, and we're back in the guarantee spot.
All right. And folks can just walk in the door, give you a call, set up a time. I know that you'll be more than happy to see them during regular business hours, and in some cases, I think you meet with folks after business hours.
Yep. We're open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. We do take a lunch hour. So if you need to meet over our lunch hour, just call ahead of time. Somebody can stay there. Or if you need an evening or a weekend, give us a call. There's 2 or 3 of us that can usually, between our schedules, get down there and meet a family and do that, or we can figure out a couple different times. And so we're happy to do that. We do that quite frequently. So don't ever feel like that's an issue or a problem for us. We're happy to meet on your time when you can meet.
All right. Now you just go away from the business for a moment.
Right.
At the meeting yesterday, it was acknowledged that you were no longer commander of the economic development, Custer County Economic Development. You served there as president and went through the board.
Correct. Yeah, I was the chair for the last 2 years, so they kicked me off finally and did that. So I'm still. I'll help Jamie Anderson, who's now the chair.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be on her exec board just as a past president to kind of keep continuity and information on the projects that we're kind of interworking. That that's one thing I always told Keith Ellis when he was there. I said, man, I don't know how you do this every day, because you would work on projects and get them like just right to the finish line. And then one little thing, and they just change and go a whole nother way, or something happens and they just completely go away. And so that was one of the things that I learned in that role. Is sometimes you hear the organization talking about something, and then all of a sudden it never comes to fruition. You're like, why? Well, it was something totally out of their control. But yeah, it was an enjoyable experience and happy to do that. But yeah, I've stepped away from being the main focus of that, and Jamie will do a great job leading that and continuing to work on the mission and the goals of the organization there.
Yep, I had lunch with Keith Ellis the other day just to kind of catch up with him, and he said he enjoyed it, and some of those challenges he knew were there, but it is frustrating, but you have to keep moving forward. I think Scotty Ross seems pretty determined to do that. So.
Yeah, and Scotty will be great at it and continuing on the legacy that we've had there with that. And the nice thing is Keith did stay here in the community when he retired, and he's working on some organizations that are statewide. So he's reached out. At some point when I get my batteries recharged just a little bit, I'll help in, but he's working on some sex trafficking awareness. That's a big issue through this area, so that's always a much needed thing. And when you are a person that works in service like Keith did for so many years, that's not a shock that he's going to hop in right into something and continue to do those great things.
Yeah, I think he talked about that and a couple other projects that he wanted to work on, and he's kind of a history buff. He's going to do a little research on some things and have a little fun. But thanks for your service there, and thanks for coming in today. Did we cover everything?
I think so. You guys did mention, I heard earlier this morning, and I just wanted to hit on it, the Donna Hilkemeyer benefit that's Sunday coming up, obviously for medical expenses for Tom there, and I think that's 11 to 2.
Right.
So lots of posters around town for that. Lions Club, a bunch of people are helping with that. The other thing I'd mention is Kyle Stringham is a friend, and of course he works at Nebraska State Bank, and he's fighting cancer and down in Omaha getting some treatments and things like that. They're waiting for probably a possible bone marrow transplant at some point. So if you go out there, sign up for those registries, get into those. You can see if you're donors for those. People don't think about that, but that's a problem that, I didn't realize how hard it was to find bone marrow until you or you have a friend and you're like, yeah, heck yeah, I'm going to sign right up. And all of a sudden they're like, well, you're over 40, you can't donate. Yeah, and there's thousands of people on the list, and they've got to find a number of markers that match up on that. So I just encourage people to, if you want to get involved or help in the community or help people in a way, that's, you can give blood at the Red Cross. You can do things like a bone marrow swab just to see if you would match somebody and get in the registry. So that would be great. If you go to the Nebraska State Bank's Cash the Eagle page, I think they opened the T-shirt fundraiser back up for him. So just something as simple as going and buying a T-shirt for his battling cancer, then that gives them funds because families have to stay in hotels and driving back and forth from Omaha and food and things like that. So those expenses can add up pretty good for a family. And yeah, I just encourage, if there's anybody else out there and you see somebody doing a T-shirt fundraiser or something, go buy that T-shirt, go spend that $20 or whatever it is, and you don't know the how much that helps a family. So
yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I actually talked with Kyle at the grocery store a while back, and he was getting around a little bit better at that time and so forth, but I really didn't know his status right now. He's such a wonderful guy. I think we all can help him out. He deserves it.
Yeah, good guy. And there's, like I said, several people in the community that are battling things and do that. So find your person that you feel that you can help to, and step outside your comfort level and try to do that.
Well said, Chris. Thanks a lot.
Right. Thank you, guys.
And thanks for the cocktails.
Yeah, you bet. So I hope the radio show gets even more interesting as time goes on today.
Well, I know, I can tell right now Butch is going to be a little upset.
That's his boat stash.
That's what I thought. I thought that come out of his boat. So tell him thanks.
No problem.
All right. We'll take a timeout.
Mason Angus and Sim Angus will hold their annual bull and female sale on Saturday, March 2nd at Broken Bow Livestock at 1 p.m. Selling will be 50 yearling Angus and Sim Angus bulls and 30 Angus and Sim Angus open heifers. Offering bulls and heifers with calving ease, growth, good structures, docility, muscling, power, natural thickness, maternal influence, and longevity to move your herd forward for more profit for you. View all sale animals online at MasonAngusSimAngus.com. Those who can't attend in person can bid online thanks to DV Auction. See you at the sale Saturday, March 2nd, 1 p.m. in Broken Bow.
The winter sports apparel clearance is going on right now at Geared for Sports in Broken Bow. Save between 30 and 50% off winter items like hoodies, sweatpants, stocking hats, gloves, and more. If it's winter apparel, it's on sale. Scott is excited for spring and the track season. Go and see the nice selection of track shoes perfect for practice and competition from brands like Brooks and Under Armour. Open Monday through Saturday. Gear up at Geared for Sports, west side of the square in Broken Bow.
You are listening to the Get Up and Go Breakfast Show. Go, go, go! On KCNI, KBBN, Broken Bow, Nebraska.
CBS News Brief. We begin in The Hague, where South Africa is urging the International Court of Justice to issue a non-binding legal opinion that Israel's occupation of Palestinian territories is illegal.
Israel, as the occupying power, is not acting in the best interests of the population under occupation and is not administering the occupied territory in good faith.
For the first time, the U.S. appears ready to support a UN resolution calling for a temporary ceasefire in Gaza. Outside an Arctic prison in Russia.
16 февраля погиб мой сын, Alexei Navalny.
Alexei Navalny's mother makes a video plea for Vladimir Putin to release her son's body. President Biden says he hopes the opposition leader's death will convince House Republicans to approve more aid to Ukraine. No rest for the weary, rain-soaked in California. Correspondent Carter Evans.
The hits just keep coming here in Los Angeles, where they're still cleaning up from a big mudslide from the last set of storms.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Nick Cope.
In a top 10 matchup for college basketball on Monday, number 2 Houston held on to beat number 6 Iowa State 73-65. The Cougars are now 23-3 on the season. St. John's coach Rick Pitino stood by his critical postgame comments from Sunday's loss to Seton Hall, in which Pitino questioned his players' toughness while describing their athletic shortcomings. On Monday, he told Newsday that he wasn't ripping his players, he was just describing why his team lost. UConn women's coach Gino Auriemma passed Mike Krzyzewski for the second most wins by a college basketball coach as the Huskies beat Creighton on Monday. Auriemma trails current Stanford coach Tara Vanderveer by 6 wins. And William Byron won the rain-delayed Daytona 500 under caution after a late wreck involving 18 cars wiped out most of the leaders.
Here's your weatherology forecast. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki. High of 66 today under mainly sunny skies, westerly winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. Lows around 32 tonight. Daytime highs approaching 63 tomorrow, sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Clear skies and dry Thursday and Friday with highs in the mid-50s. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki.
Calling all cattlemen. We're Austrian Angus, and it's bull sale time. We invite you to our 23rd annual production sale Wednesday, February 21st at 1 p.m. at our ranch south of Ansley.
Selling will be 145 performance-tested, carcass-evaluated yearling Angus bulls.
Also selling are 30 fancy registered yearling Angus heifers.
For more information and videos of this powerful offering, check us out at austrianangus.com.
Can't wait to see you at our ranch, Austrian Angus Ranch. Let's have a bull sale.
Well, hello, everybody. I tell you what, yesterday we had a classic car sale on BigIron.com, the Sullivan Classic Car Auction. Yesterday was day 1. Today is day 2. But some of the auction results, guys, yesterday, a 1977 Ford 4x4 Bronco sells for $74,250. A 1953 Chevrolet 3100 Series pickup sells for $35,250. A 1978 Ford F-150 Custom 4x4 pickup brings $57,250. Now, if you're a Chevrolet lover, folks, we've got some of those too. And a 1976 Chevrolet K20 Silverado 4x4 pickup sells for $28,500. There was a 1973 Ford F100 pickup that fetched $45,750 on the online auction. A 1970 Plymouth Superbird sells for $155,750. If you would like to see the auction results from yesterday's classic car sale, go to BigIron.com, and underneath the Classic Vehicles tab, the drop-down box will show auction results. Not only is yesterday's auction results on there, but the auction results from last fall and last spring and summer are posted there as well. Now, we have a big sale today. Some more classic cars are selling. So scroll through the collection. They're starting to sell at 9 o'clock this morning. So they get going early this morning, and they get done in good time this afternoon. But a wide variety of vehicles selling today. Now, if you would like to sell one of your classic cars or one of your classic pickup trucks, we're going to have another Sullivan Classic Car Sale coming up here in May. But contact us right away, because the secret sauce to a successful auction is the marketing time in advance of the occasion. And if you want to scroll through the auction results yesterday, you'll see that these vehicles were sold all across the United States, and some even were fetching bids from across the ponds. So once again, go to BigIron.com for all of that information. Now, tomorrow, boy, do we have some nice auctions scheduled on our February 21st big sale. Over 1,119 items selling altogether. But Mark Franklin is from Wallace, Nebraska, and they've got some late model Kinsey grain carts and some sunflower disc harrows and soil finishers. So please check those out. They've got some 2010 Kinsey Harvest Commander 1050 grain carts that are being sold. So check that all out. In addition to that particular sale, folks, Wright Implement John Deere dealers throughout Indiana and Kentucky are selling 2019, 20, 21, and 22 model tractors, combines, and sprayers and planters. We've also got Greenpoint Ag Holdings in Mississippi selling some equipment. Dial up the Big Iron website for those items selling tomorrow. Now, if you want to go to Maryland, we also have the Cloverdale Farms LLC retirement sale tomorrow as well, folks. And boy, do they have some really nice equipment. They've got a Landall 23-foot vertical tillage tool that will sell. They've got a John Deere 750 15-foot grain drill. They've got some really nice planting equipment, a John Deere 1795 series 12/23 row planter will be sold to the highest bidder. They have a John Deere 7830 mechanical front tractor and a John Deere 7810 that will be sold, plus a Case IH SPX 3150 self-propelled sprayer, just to name a few of the many items. These items are in Maryland, folks, and if you contact Hitchpin Logistics, they will be able to tell you what it's going to cost to get those items freighted right to your door. So please dial up Hitchpin Logistics. You can find their phone information on our website. Now, on Thursday, February 22nd, folks, we have some land, 146 acres in Hall County, Nebraska, that will sell to the highest bidder. This particular land, folks, featuring some pivot irrigated farmland that's only a half mile off of Highway 281. And in this particular sale, Rex Mahoney has all of the information as he's working for the Richard P. Panowitz and Suzanne L. Pliss trustees. And Rex, once again, will get you all the information if you're looking for some irrigated land in Hall County that will sell here on Thursday. And a little advance notice, folks, here on March the 7th, 1,120 acres of Wheeler County, Nebraska land will sell in 6 different tracts. This is all pivot irrigated farmland, and Don Kaiser will be facilitating this online auction for the Jamie and Faye Rudolph family. Once again, just an outstanding opportunity, folks, to buy some of the nicest irrigated land north of Spalding, Nebraska that you're going to find anywhere. 1,120 acres will sell here on March the 7th. And then 1 week later, on March the 14th, another advance notice thing here, 939 acres of Greeley County, Nebraska land will sell in 5 tracts. This is all pivot irrigated farmland, folks. And Jim Stock and John Stock are working for the Elma M. Shoemaker Estate. And Jim and John will be at the Cardinal Inn in Albion, Nebraska on March the 14th, providing bidding assistance. But this is an online auction on bigiron.com. If you're looking for land in Greeley County, March the 14th is the place to be. Now, we've got land selling in several other counties throughout Nebraska. And if you've been thinking of selling some of your farmland, it's still not too late to get it listed and sold this year. If you've got some ranch land, folks, that you would like to sell, we definitely have a lot of people that would like to expand their cattle production operation, and they're always looking for ranch land to purchase. Pick up the phone and give us a call here at 1-800-937-3558. You can ask for myself, Mark Stock, and I'll get you in connections with the real estate rep that will service your specific area. A lot of machinery selling, a lot of livestock selling in the weeks coming up. So just dial up the Big Iron website for all the latest information. You guys have a great week. Thank you very much.
Sharpen herbicide takes your burn down up a notch, going from burn down to
3 to 5 times faster burn down.
From strict tank mix limitations to
awesome tank mix compatibility.
And from controlling some weeds to
controlling more than 80 of the toughest broadleaf weeds.
Including mare's tail.
Including mare's tail.
Because if it can't control mare's tail, it's pretty much just fancy water. So
sharpen up your burn down
with Sharpen herbicide, powered by Kicksor technology from BASF. Always read and follow label direction.
No. Well, we got a wild bunch in here, folks. It's 11 past the hour of 9 o'clock, and we're going to talk roast beef, I think, here in a moment. But before we do that, we need to talk about the Valentine's Day gift that will keep on giving and last a lifetime. And if the gentlemen that are here would like to take part in this, they can. It's coming up on Thursday, February 22nd, so that is this week at the Broken Bow Library at the Multi-Purpose Room. Well, we had Jeremiah Luby in last week to talk to us about this. They have this once a year, and it's very well received, and there's no pressure at all. They're going to give you an estate planning seminar to learn about basic wills, trusts, decisions that are left up to the court if you don't leave a will, gun trusts, transfer of possession and laws around that, avoiding probate and saving time and money. And they also have available an organizational notebook if you'd like to take part in their program, and which is very important, and powers of attorney and funeral pre-planning, which we just talked about with Chris Smith a moment ago, and Bill Steffens and Jeremiah Luby will be there. And guest speaker is Grant Chapin with Govier Brothers about pre-planning funerals. And I know that sometimes people don't like to talk about those sorts of things, but you know what? You come into this earth and then you leave this earth, and those are two things that are for sure. And there's some things you can do to make it less strenuous on the people you leave behind. So check it out, Steffen Law Office on Thursday at 6:30 p.m. at the Broken Bow Library Multi-Purpose Room. And I can tell you, after attending it, Joan and I attended it, there's no pressure at all. It's very educational, and you can participate with the law office afterwards if you like. And so that's taken care of.
All right.
And now we can talk roast beef if you want.
Yeah, we've got some members of the men's group at the United Methodist Church with us. Kent Taylor's here. And I don't know if I know this guy or not. Kurt, what's the name again?
Crawley.
Kurt Crawley.
We used to run in circles together, literally in circles.
Yes, we did. Great to have both you guys here with us.
Thanks for letting us come in today.
All right. You're both part of the men's group, right, at the United Methodist Church, and you have a big event that I think you do every year, right? So where do you want to start?
We can just start at the beginning. It's the time for the men's annual roast beef dinner, and that's going to be this Sunday, February 25th, and it'll run from 5 to 7. And we just encourage people to come up and enjoy a meal, and the meal is $12. You can get a prepaid ticket, but if you don't, just come on up and you can pay at the door. Come on in. We do have opportunity for people to call and get dine in or carry out, and I'll let you talk a little bit about the carry out if they want carry out.
Yeah, if you'd like a carry out, what you would want to do is call up to the church, and that phone number is 872-5963, or you can call Dick Taylor at 308-870-0564, and just give us a few minutes. And you can get, if you want your advance ticket, you can get them at Chapin's Furniture downtown. But really, that's not that necessary. We just want you to come. If you decide you want to carry out, give us 5 minutes. We'll have it ready for you, and you can drive up to the front door, and we'll bring it out to you, as long as we know you're coming. So, Kirk did say that the price was $12 for adults and like school age. Preschool is free, so they usually don't eat a whole lot. So other than that, we'll have, along with the roast beef supper, we have mashed potatoes, gravy, your choice of green beans or corn. And then we have the women. The men didn't do this. We have to give the women some kudos. Yeah, for here. They make salads and desserts for us. And so if you leave there hungry, don't leave. Just come back and get some more.
There you go.
We have plenty. So, just want to invite everyone to come and enjoy. We've been doing this. I was trying to think how long it's been, but we've been doing this for as long as I can remember.
And the money that is made from this we use for scholarships, and so it goes back in. You're not only investing in a great supper, but you're also investing in your future with the scholarships that are going out to kids that can apply for those scholarships.
Yeah. You mentioned some of the things that the ladies will be fixing. Now, are you guys cooking the meal? Who's cooking the roast beef? Who's mashing the potatoes? Is that all you guys?
Oh, yeah, we do it. We do it all. We have my brother Rex, and he has a crew that does the roast beef. They have a special way to do it that just falls apart when they get ready to serve it. We have some of the confirmation kids will come in on Sunday during the confirmation time at church, and they will do all the peeling of the potatoes. And so then there's quite a crew that gets them all cooked and mashed and smashed and spread all over the place with the big whips that they use. You don't want to be standing too close if you don't want to have a few potatoes slung on you.
Nice.
So, but other than that, the men serve it. The women, as much as we appreciate them, we don't ask them to help with the serving or the cleanup. Our youth group at the church usually is in there picking up the dishes, serving water, tea, coffee. It's a great time of fellowship for us men. That's part of it, is the time that we get to spend together. And back when we had a men's choir, the men's would entertain, but we're a little bit low on numbers, so if anybody wants to come sing with us, we'd let you sing with us too. So, but it's just a great time. It's a family event. We just enjoy it so much. This is why we do it too.
And probably the biggest thing is if you come to church that morning, this roast beef is cooking, so it kind of sells itself right there.
I bet.
So
I bet.
it's a great time to get together and see people and visit with people. Much like last night, if you attended the pancake feed, you love those events because not only do you get a great meal, you get to see people that you might not be able to see all the time and have great conversation.
Yeah.
Yep.
When you guys have the Methodist Church, for those who haven't been in that church, I think a lot of people have for one reason or another, but you have a nice serving area, nice kitchen there, and then a nice place to sit down and eat. And as you say, if you're in church, you're probably just going to hang around.
I think that's how they get us to come back to work.
That's a
Nobody
good
wants
comeback.
to leave.
Yeah, no kidding. And you know what? The ladies probably really enjoy this. And I'm not trying to be funny here because they do a lot of funeral services and a lot of things for people, different families all the way through the year. So this is kind of a nice break for them too, I would think.
Yeah, they have their own things that they do.
Yeah.
And they have their own what they raise money for to support. And but this money, like Kirk said, goes to the scholarships. This is basically what the scholarships are, provide money from this. And then we do also have the at the fair time, we have our stand at the fairgrounds.
Right.
The money that the men raise on that, but a lot of that goes into the scholarships also.
Okay.
You know, it's nice to be able to give our seniors that are graduating a little something to get them sent off after all of the years that they've come and supported the church too. So
it's a great event, and as Kent mentioned, as long as you can remember, it's been going on. And the special...
I've been there a long time.
Well,
but I'm sure it didn't. I know it hasn't been going on as long as I've been there. Okay.
Yeah, I got you. I got you, Kent. So that's really great. Now run that day. Is that this coming weekend?
This Sunday, February 25th, from 5 to 7.
5 to 7.
Yep.
All right. You know what? Nobody has to fix anything on Sunday. There's a benefit for Tom Hilkemeyer. Starts at 11, goes to about 2.
Yep.
And then you can come up for supper. Nobody has to cook on Sunday.
Perfect.
There's a lot of people the older people will take this to go. And or they want a clamshell for their leftovers because they can't eat all that we put on their plate. And you know, it's great that they can take it and warm it up. That roast beef, it's good for days.
Oh yeah, you can.
I know that.
You can get a lot of goodies out of roast beef. Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right on.
So we'll start here. Beans or corn?
Oh man. That's actually a tough choice for me. I think I would go with beans. I think my choice would be beans, but tomorrow I may change my mind.
Yeah.
I like every vegetable that's corn.
There you go.
That's I'm not a great vegetable eater, but I like corn.
Okay. Kent?
Oh, corn all the time. I'd probably just mix it right. If I had my choice, I'd put it right on top of the potatoes and then put the gravy on top of there, too.
Yep, you can do that.
Well, you know, just mix it all together, one big mess.
And you, Dave?
Yeah.
Oh, man, if I'm like Brent, I like green beans a lot. but I like the idea of mixing the corn in too. So maybe I'd just go ahead and say I'm going to be a glutton and do both.
Well, and that's happened to many. Yeah, I'm usually on the dishwashing committee. Because, I kind of jack around too much to be out in public. Yeah. We get too many snapping each other with the towels, Now, Kirk, he's a server. He's out there doing that. So.
Meet and greet guy, yeah.
Which is actually kind of dangerous duty if you think about putting me with a spoon in my hand, actually putting food on other people's plate. I mean, putting me that close to the food's probably a little careless.
Well, it's just one for me, one for you, one for me, one for you. That happens.
Now, that for Crawley, that's good for you to once in a while run that spoon the other direction.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I should do it more often.
Oh gosh, well that's great, and I'm glad you mentioned the Custer County Fair because you guys, raise money during that period of time as well, and it's all good.
It's not all just about. It's not raising the money. It is the fellowship that we develop and working with somebody. If you haven't stood there and fried hamburgers for 3 hours one night, it's kind of like doing the wrestling. It's an experience, and that person next to you, and you get to be good friends because you're sharing the time together. And again, it's seeing the people that you don't get to see. Kirk brought that up. That just the visiting, and that's country life. Yeah, that's what we do here.
Small town.
Yeah, small town
America.
Yep. And it's just good.
Okay. All right, so there you have it, folks. Yep. Sunday, it's going to be a beautiful day, but don't worry about doing anything in the kitchen. Everything's covered. Just come to the center of Custer County and have plenty to eat.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you, guys. Now, Alberta's up next. She'll be on for the next...
I want to listen to this.
Got 30 minutes left for you, Alberta.
I think I just heard the outdoor door
the door
slam.
Closed. I just seen her running out.
Kirk needs a ride back home.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys for having us in this morning.
Anytime. Appreciate it.
You bet.
All right. We'll take a quick time out. And we'll see if Alberta is going to speak to me after this.
Have you ever met a nematode? Probably not. But this sneaky ingrate and its billions of friends steal soybean yields right out from under your nose. Nematodes cause up to $1.5 billion in soybean revenue loss each year. And if that's not enough, they also amplify sudden death syndrome. Why? Because they're microscopic good-for-nothing thieves. That's why. Take action against these yield-stealing jerks with Allevo soybean seed treatment from BASF, the only proven winner against both SEN and SDS. And remember to always read and follow label directions.
All right, a few things left to do here. We want to tell you about a couple things. Plus, we want to give away a $25 gift card to be used at the Callaway Market. And the Callaway Market is really, really important to Callaway. It's also a very good place to go do some shopping locally. And they have their doors open 7 days a week. So we'll talk about that in just a little bit. And we also have, I think, one job opening here we need to cover as well.
Yeah, just a couple of things. First off, Circle V Stitch and Post. Our good friend Velma ready to go to work for you and get your creation started with her beautiful quality custom embroidery service. As we kind of start to come out of the winter a little bit and start to think about spring, and with the weather this week, how can you not think about spring? Maybe you want to put together some new shirts or hats or jackets or something for your folks that work for you. Maybe you want to promote your business in that way. Well, Velma can go to work for you and get your creation started, can put together some really neat things. Also, maybe you're looking for a personalized gift, whether it be for a baby shower you're invited to, maybe you have a wedding coming up, someone's having a special anniversary. She can really do some neat things for you there as well. We think about shirts and hats and jackets and things, but she could also personalize things like afghans, blankets, and towel sets, as well as a lot more. So give her a call today, 872-6173. Circle V Stitch and Post. You'll find it just north of Broken Bow out on Paulson Road. And as Dave mentioned, we do have a job to promote to you. This is through Central Nebraska Community Action Partnership. Still looking for someone to work as a center assistant in their Ord, Burwell, and Broken Bow locations. This is a full-time job, 40-hour per week position with a starting wage of $14 per hour. You would be assisting where needed in the classroom, depending on location, helping the teacher and staff with activities, documenting, and cleaning. If you'd like more information, call 308-745-0780. Extension is 105. Or you can go directly to their website and apply. It's centralnebraskacap.com.
Thank you, Brent. Now, let's talk a little bit about the Callaway Market. I happen to know the proprietor of that particular business.
Do you know?
And Mr. Paulson has been in Custer County for many years. He's old. No, I'm just kidding. But he has been around a while, and he's been in a lot of different areas of business in this area, and has landed in a grocery store in Callaway. And I think it's so wonderful that he and his family and staff have made the Callaway Market available to the community, kept it open, and not only kept it open, made improvements, and just make it a nice store to go to. And they're open 7 days a week. Now, I don't know how often you'll find a grocery store in a town the size of Callaway open 7 days a week, but I bet the people there appreciate it, and I'm guessing people drive from quite a ways on the weekend to come and do some shopping who live, maybe south, northeast, west of Callaway, because they're open there, and they've got a great meat department there, and they just do a great job.
Yeah, and if you're kind of a frequent visitor to the Callaway Market, make sure you sign up for their loyalty rewards program that they're offering now, which has allowed them to give thousands of dollars back to the community.
All right, you bet. Now we're going to give a $25 gift card away, and I just wondered if we could ask a question about something we talked about today.
Sure.
Now we could let's go through what we could ask a question about. Okay.
Yeah, we've covered a lot of topics today.
We could talk about arrow seed.
Okay.
And some of the things that Logan talked about, and we would omit his joke. We will not allow that to be discussed again. We have Burwell Livestock and Broken Bow Livestock. Drew Gaffney. We have Click Family Healthcare with Dr. Jacobson, who talked about a couple of different subjects. And then we also visited with Chris Smith at Palmer Monument about some things. And we just talked about the Methodist Church roast beef dinner coming up this Sunday. Which one of those subjects should we ask a question about, my co-host?
Man, I don't know.
We have to make a decision here.
Probably all of them are worthy.
Oh, they're all worthy.
Asking a question about.
Yeah.
Well, when Dr. Jacobson was in, we kind of talked about, Dave and I, whenever Dr. Jacobson walks in, Dave and I never refer to him as his first name, or we rarely say Dr. Jacobson. We just say,
"Hey, Doc."
Yeah.
How you doing, Doc?
Yeah. I was going to make that be the question, but I guess there's the answer.
Oh, well, I thought maybe the question would be, what is the doc's full name?
Oh, that is a good question. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, all right. So that's the question.
That's the question. Call us at 872-2801. Click Family Healthcare, the doc. What is his full name?
Okay.
We don't need the middle name, just his first and last name.
All right.
Call us at 872-2801 while we listen to this word.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth, and if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Well, it's not a trick question, but there are some conflicts out there with Click Family Healthcare's doc. His name is also very similar, if not the same, as another doc that served the community for a long time. Actually, his relative.
Yeah.
So we'll move off of that one.
Okay.
It was too controversial. Now, the question is, call us at 872-2801. Do you like beans or corn?
There you go. When you go to the Methodist Men's roast beef dinner, are you going to take beans or corn?
And if you'll call and tell us that, you'll win a $25. This is kind of appropriate because it's about food.
Yeah.
A $25 gift card to the Callaway Corner Market. So, do you prefer, as a vegetable, corn or beans? The phone is ringing. And we will pick up the phone and say, good morning. Who are we talking to?
Hi, this is Linda Storms.
Linda Storms. Oh, boy. We're going to ask some very personal questions, Linda. You ready?
Okay.
Okay. Do you prefer corn or beans?
Beans.
Beans. Now, do you eat corn?
Oh, yeah.
You would eat
Somebody
corn.
else puts it up.
You what?
Yeah. Did you say if someone puts it up? Yeah, I hear you, man. Oh, man. That
corn, that's fine. But if you're going to give me corn that was off a roasting ear and put up, then that's very difficult. Yeah. Yeah, because then it's like, oh, that's so good. It's so sweet and tasty. All right, Linda. Hope you're having a great day. The weather's going to be great. Come on out here and pick up your $25 gift card to the Callaway Market when you get a chance, okay?
Okay.
All right, Linda, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Yeah, she kind of threw out another thought there. Now, we could go into this a little deeper because I was thinking, and I don't know what you were thinking when they were saying green beans or corn, I was thinking it probably comes out of a can. I love green beans out of a can. I don't mind corn out of a can. Canned corn and canned green beans are fine with me. But if you have corn off the roasting ear and put up and frozen and then you bring it out and cook it up, that's a whole nother level. And green beans out of the garden that are canned with little bits of bacon in them.
Oh, my.
That's a whole nother deal.
Yeah. I'm asking for both, if that occurs. I'm sorry. I'm like, split them in half. Give me both, man.
Crawley, you got some work to do if you're going to go try to find some canned or some, put up corn or put up beans in the jars or in the freezer bags. Because I actually, I don't know about you, I kind of prefer the canned beans to garden beans.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know why. Now, do you like the whole cut beans or do you like the ones that are shredded type? You know,
the French style?
The French style.
I just don't think you can get better than fresh beans snapped out of the garden with bacon, as you mentioned. That's elite, in my opinion, for green beans. But if you're just buying them from the store, I enjoy the frozen package of green beans and the I think they call it the whole petite green bean. I like steaming those and making those.
How do you steam them?
Yeah. Well, we have, I'm sure several out there do too. We have one of those Ninja Foodies, and you just throw them in there and steam them, and wow, I put some bacon in there with them, and they're good.
You said Ninja?
Yeah, the line of appliances, Ninja. It's the Foodie.
Are those? I don't want to. Are those made by communists?
I don't know. I didn't research that. I don't know.
It could be communist beans.
Well, no, don't. No, come on now. I enjoy them cooked that way. Don't start making me feel guilty about it.
You could say to Shelley, "Hey, sweetheart, pass me the commie beans." Oh gosh, they're probably. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind. We could go real deep into that. This got a lot deeper than I thought it was going to be.
It kind of did, yes.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
We'll switch gears here because we're going to close the show, but I know Brent would like to remind you of our broadcast today. We got some really good games lined up for you and some video as well with those broadcasts.
Yeah, we're going to be in Ansley for you tonight. We'll have full coverage of the D111 Boys Subdistrict Basketball Tournament. 2 games tonight. Ansley Litchfield will open against Twin Loop, I believe tipping at 5:30 tonight. And we'll have that for you on KBBN 95.3 FM, KBBN.com. And then following that, I hope I'm right on this, I think Ansley Litchfield and Twin Loop's first game. And then it will be South Loop and Sand Hills Valley. Those will be the 2 games tonight. First one will tip at 5:30. The other will follow, and we'll have both games tonight on KBBN 95.3 FM, KBBN.com. And we'll also do the live video stream, too, so you'll be able to watch the games tonight through sandhillsexpress.com, accompanied by the radio call, or you can just go directly to the Sand Hills Express Facebook page or YouTube channel and find them there as well.
All right, that's the show for today. We'll have a Wednesday edition for you tomorrow, and we look forward to meeting you here at 7:30. If you're a country music lover, well, we got just the thing for you, Pure Country KCNI. And if you like rock, well, you'll probably want to stay right where you're at if you're on 95.3 FM or on KBBN.com. We will have awesome 80s at the top for you 80s lovers as well.